The dark side of Nirvana, whomever, is the fact that you see that this world is the same as that world. You see why all scriptures are the same. You see, you're just a bunch of dots put together. The dark side to this is the fact that you leave the understanding of people. You see everything is everything. You see why everything has ever been written in the entire history of men. You see that problems begin with a critical error in the head, this amnesia of just understanding. You see why all of it happens. But the problem is here when you do this is that people can't relate to you. You've flown too high like Icarus. You flew too high. You went crazy. You started talking about stuff. It went crazy. See, they want perfection at all times, but they don't understand that this striving for perfection only equals in destruction. That's all they want. And it's the dark side, because you can no longer provide for them. It's a dangerous place, because you no longer become part of this work type of thing, and you go, oh my God, wow, you become the double rainbow guy times 15. You see that every day is a day, the time is just only objects and movements of objects, and you see that we're talking about mass here, we're talking about all these principles and everything, the theories of everything. And you see people are arguing over, how do you prove God? Well, just open your eyes, dummy. Like, wake up. Like, come on. Don't you take everything so much for granted that you can't see the beautiful reality of what did the prophets write about? Why did they write about this? Because they, for them and themselves in that time, were trying to explain best as they could, just like we are today. We're living in this fragmented dystopian society where things have come full circle. Things have, just 1984. It's Orwellian. The McCarthyism, I'm just talking, oh my Jesus, oh my God. Can you not see this? Can you not see that all your scriptures are talking about the final death of how people become, because they're part of the beast, 666, and the beast inside of them, they destroy things? And don't you see like how this even came to be? Don't you see that even when they talk about Satan in the scriptures, Satan is obviously the opposer, the grand opposer. In anything you do, in any place, don't you see that there is a place where you must lay your hopes and a place where you must lay your hates? Do you not see this rhyme? Nirvana is a terrible place. Terrible place. And sometimes you get locked inside of it and you can't escape it. Many of you understand this. Most of you don't. You're only worried about appearances, money, fashion, things like this. You're only worried about being more. But the dark side to that is that, well, you're killing everything. If everyone does that, you see a poor child and then you see a rich child. What you consider, what's the common variable right here? Your judgment. A poor child smiles, a rich child smiles, they get along well. Okay, just The only time you should interfere is when someone is suffering. You're natural observers. Oh my God, can you not see that you're natural observers? Those things, these things, can't you see why they don't interact with us? Is because they're natural observers. Just watching it all happen because, my God, if it came down to a moment, all of you would go crazy. If you were told the truth, you would go completely insane and say, but my scriptures aren't the way that I thought they were. You would go insane. Currency would drop down. Markets would close. You would go crazy because your idea of what you believed in was only just a reflection of the truth. Only a story. What's the common narrative with people? They see something, they write it down. You go and tell somebody, right? So if all these people are talking about things coming from heaven, wings, it's just not metaphorical right here. Look at humans. We do not belong on earth. We don't belong here. Look at us in terms of scale of evolution. We don't belong here. So what did the scripture say? What did the cuneiform say? What did they say? What am I talking about? I'm talking about just the fact that all of you believe the universe revolves around you. You're basically Martin Luther, the first one, or somebody, and you're going, impossible, Joshua told us so. But you have no clue why the scriptures are written to say the sun revolves around. Now you believe we're living on a blanket, riding on a turtle or something? Like you believe that Atlas is physical? I mean, you misunderstand the metaphorical scripture of things. It's best not to intervene because when you intervene, oh my God, apparently it destroys everything. So there are people, I believe it's in Hebrews, it says, new covenant, whatever you want to call it, same as the old covenant, doesn't really matter, same thing, just revisiting it. It says that there are angels among you. Well, how would you ever know? How would you ever know? What does it mean? It means someone of higher thought. Why do you think they wear hats on their head? Or why do you think they wear the stupid fish hat? Or why do you think the Pope wears that? Why do you think people are trying to make their head bigger? Why do you think we wear a hat to begin with? Well, we're observing the principle of that something is above you, something is below you. Why do you think in history people are elongating their heads? Well, it happens to be that's your grape, your melon, whatever, it's where your brain is, and it's talking about higher thought. Please stop and see that everything is talking about this. Notice that some of your scriptures they're basically philosophy personified. You need to stop and understand this. Like as Buddha is under a tree, the branches and the roots. He sees a system. As above, so below, heaven or hell. Okay? Does this make sense to you? Are we clicking? Are we tracking? Are you understanding? This is the dark side of Nirvana. The tragic side of Nirvana. Because you see a world and you want to explain it, but you don't have the vocabulary to explain it. You're going, and you know that you are just one person against 7.4 billion people. And they're all fighting over the scriptures and all arguing, and they can't see the rhyme. And everyone just wants you to calm down and be a consumer. Be a producer. Be a director. Become famous. They all want to, but they don't see that this leads to destruction. They don't even follow their scriptures. How can you be as a a sparrow or a lily, if you're always worried? Isn't worry what causes wars? Isn't it what it causes everything? Jehovah Jireh, my God, provides. Whatever you want to call it today. Whatever you want to freaking call it today. Does not matter. Realize that it's the same mystery that is always being told about all the time. The mystery of just reality.